You know his voice. You've seen the crisp videos, but he's more than a tech guy. He's a digital storyteller, a finance educator, and your plug for smartphone choices. From unboxing the latest gadgets to empowering African creators and breaking down financial literacy, he does it all with a gentle, strategic, and welcoming mind. Without further ado, Fisayo Fosudo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Creativity. Yes. My name is Linda Agwocha, and I'm your host. And today we have an amazing guest in the house. Somebody I'm sure everybody on YouTube knows, or if you're into tech, if you use a phone, you should know who this person is. He's an amazing content creator and somebody I love and respect so much. I don't tell him to his face, but he knows, and he's done us proud world over. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome Fisayo Fosudo. I used your slang.
Yes.
How are
Nice.
you?
I'm amazing.
It's
And by the
nice
way,
having you
I
here.
actually trademarked for that, dude. Like
You did?
I owned
Oh,
it.
that's
But
nice.
just like the spelling of it. I
Oh,
did.
really?
Yeah.
So you guys take notes. You can
It's
no
very
longer
nice.
just
Oh no,
use
it's
for that.
it's like use it, but we'll
You
know
know
that.
who it belongs to. That was very smart.
Thank you.
How have you been?
Uh, uh, I'm tired. I think
Why are
I'm
you tired? You
stressed.
just came back from CES.
Yes.
What do they call it?
Consumer Electronics Show.
Yes. How was it?
CES. It was overwhelming. So
Really?
CES is the biggest consumer electronics show. Literally, that's like in the name. Is the biggest tech exhibition in the world. Happens every year
Mm,
in Las Vegas in January,
mm,
and this is the first time I'm going for CES.
mm.
And I think it was very special.
I
I
could
assumed,
tell.
yeah, I registered for it in my head. I was like, I'm just going to go for this thing and just have fun.
Mm.
But like, Delta Airlines realized that I was going, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll take you to CES."
Oh,
Yeah, and they booked
wow.
4 first-class flights
Oh,
for me.
wow. For you and your team.
Yeah, no, just for me, but we had other things to do for Delta, so it was like very weird and nice at the same time, and just seeing everything and going everywhere and seeing technology. I didn't have time to explore it,
Mm,
and but I was just happy to be there because CS is like 7 big halls.
mm.
I explored just one,
Oh,
and
wow.
I didn't even finish. But I went to the other ones. I just looked at it, but I recorded in just one place.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I saw you there, I actually thought maybe it was like a tech company that flew you over for you to come
No,
and experience it. So it was actually Delta Airline.
yeah, they saw that I was going, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Oh,
And
that's cool. One of the perks of being a very popular tech YouTuber. Nice. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Why are you even a tech YouTuber? How did it all start? You know, your childhood, what influenced you to make you feel like this is what I want to do? Oh
yeah.
my goodness, you're wearing a YouTube logo.
Oh, yeah. This is a very interesting thing. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But the from like childhood and now, why am I even doing this in the first place? I always like to think that creating content is like in a way, is like a dream job,
Mm,
and at the same time is very scary
yeah.
because there's a lot of uncertainty. There's no like standardization when it comes to this field or industry, but it's a dream job because who is going to know that you're going to CES and book you a first class flight? Like,
Yeah, you would
do
never
you
have
understand?
thought.
And there's a lot of things like interviewing like the Secretary of State, for
Yeah.
instance. That's like the third highest ranking person in the US
Yeah.
executive arm of government. There's no way I would imagine that I would do something like that. Like,
Mm,
how would that even happen? But yeah, like, I was like 17 years old. I wanted to make tech content. I've always wanted to make tech content.
and you didn't know why?
I didn't know. No, so I know why. I saw like US creators,
Oh,
people that
okay.
were making
Okay.
content, and I admired them. I was like, one day I'm going to do something like this, but maybe better than them, or similar to it. But
Yeah.
for this market, this Nigerian market, because at the time there were just like two people that were making stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm going to invest in cameras, I'm going to invest in lighting, do all of these things, but I didn't know how to start. First of all, like when I was 17, I had no resources, but I was editing videos for church then.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we did like a drama, edited video for the church back then. Very horrible video, but I learned a lot, and then I got like a job, learned a lot on the job. But this dream has always been at the back of my mind, and then somehow I was able to start. I learned so much on the job from like these amazing people I worked with called Max. It's a delivery startup. Um, Learned a lot there, and then when I started, I think I was just like very capable of continuing. It was very rocky in the beginning because when you're on your own, nobody's going to pay you salary, and
Yeah.
you're like, just looking and just wondering, like, hope this thing will not be go the other way, essentially. But somehow, I think I had the end in mind, and I always like to say, like, always have the end in mind so that you would, on the down days, you know that there's something that you're aiming for, and regardless of the situation today, there's that other thing that is there. And until you reach that point, this is just like temporary. So it was like 6 months of drought in the beginning, but
Just 6 months.
yeah, 6 months is a long time. I was fortunate, like I had invested everything in cameras. Started, made like a video, but didn't really get any immediate feedback. But I sent my profile to someone at Techno,
Okay.
and they were like, "Oh, you are in Nigeria?" Like, yeah, yes, I am. Like, "Okay, no problem." And then he sent me a phone,
Wow.
and I was like, "Wow, you are not worried I'm going to steal this phone?" And I made a video, returned the phone, sent me another one, and then Samsung, and then more brands. And last time
That
I
was after
checked,
6 months, right?
yes,
Of you starting.
after time. So it was then like I think I just like checked. We've worked with like over 100 brands since, and we've
Since
done like
then.
a bunch of videos, and the rest is I don't like saying, but like the rest is really history. To be honest, yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Selfany.com. Selfany is a platform that helps creatives monetize their skills and content seamlessly. Whether you're selling digital products or offering services or building a membership community, Selfany provides the tool to launch and grow your business. With Selfany, there is nothing like delayed payouts or unresponsive customer support, and its transaction fees are the lowest in the industry. With Selfany, creators get their money in their bank account the next day after selling to anyone, anywhere in the world. You also get access to over 135 currencies to sell your digital products or to receive tips from fans worldwide. So, start turning your passion into money and keep more of what you earn. Visit selfany.com today. Selfany, powering creatives' happiness. So you were at a time working a 9 to 5 job,
Yes,
right, in logistics, right?
I was the social media person and designer there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you've
So
always actually been in
I learned
content
so much. I
creation.
learned so much. You know how when there's like a brand and like there's the admin and it's like making sense and they're like, this admin deserves a raise. I
Yeah.
was the admin that deserves a raise. And I was just like I learned so much, and interacting with customers, with like social media, and trying to like grow an audience, that kind of thing. Yeah.
But when you wanted to leave, you said you were watching US tech content
Yes, I
creators. So
was.
you knew they were making money. That's
Oh,
what encouraged you to leave your 9 to 5, yeah?
not necessarily that, but I knew that there was money in content. But that was not even the main thing. The main thing was I wanted to make videos that I would
Okay.
like to watch and like I would enjoy. And I mean, like at the time, it was me investing my life savings to buy cameras and lighting equipment, microphone. I didn't have to. I could have just done what I had, but I wanted to just do something nice. And it was very scary. It was at the time, dollar was like maybe 300 or something. So it was $5,000. and that was all I had. And I just said, all of this money is going to this
Fisayo,
thing.
was this when you were 17?
No. This was like way after. No,
Okay.
I way
I
after.
wanted to say, so when you were
I
17,
was
you had
saying when I was 17,
$5,000.
I wanted to do this thing, but
Okay.
I had no means of
No
doing
means
it.
of doing it. Okay. So you started late.
Yes.
Yes. So one of the reasons why they asked you if you were in Nigerian, was it
I think it was the
because
quality
the
of the
quality? I
content. So
wanted
I
to
was
say
like,
that.
what do you mean? Like, do you think good stuff cannot come out of
You
Nigeria?
know.
But then again, I think is I think we were not like investing in content. We weren't so sure whether we should go all in, that kind of thing. But me, I was just like, I don't mind going all in. If
You
I
don't
lose, I
care.
lose.
Yeah.
But
Because you
yeah,
loved it.
yeah.
I hope you're not recording us.
Oh,
Is this
there's no
is
camera.
this
I didn't bring the camera, the glasses
but
that
this
has
is the
camera.
Facebook
No. This
is
is Ray-Ban still. It's the
okay,
same
but it's
brand,
not
but it's not. It's
okay.
not
When
the
I saw the
same.
river, I was like,
No,
I hope you're not recording.
no. Very soon there'll be one this small.
Okay, cool. So, how did you start? Apart from the fact that you invested in high-end camera because
Yeah.
you wanted good video, what else did you do to make your brand stand out to the extent that you were now being recognized worldwide, for your
So
content?
so when I like started making videos, I think it was more the maybe the style. The first video I made was like about an Apple Watch. Very horrible video. My accent was rubbish. I was trying to form accent, and it was just so horrible. I watched that video again, actually, like yesterday or so, and I was like, "This is so stupid." But I realized that there's value in being yourself. Like you have to, you know. So I realized that the next video I made was even much better. Like I didn't try to sound like who I wasn't. And the next one and the next one. So I think what helped was I was myself, but I most of all I was concerned about like the value I was giving from the video. And I would like to say like I was very intentional from the beginning. It's not like I was like I didn't know what to do or which niche. I really, really wanted to do this tech thing like from the beginning, from 17, and I didn't have resources, but I've always wanted to do it. So I think it was just that, and then doing it consistently. And the thing I've learned recently is consistency is not necessarily like the number of videos or like the amount
Okay.
of times you post. It is the consistency of the feeling. So
And the value you give.
yes, if people come in contact with your videos, yeah, I remember when like I followed you because of those like ads, and that's the thing. You gave me the feeling like okay, whenever I come to this page, I will experience ads, and I will experience this reaction from you, and I trust that you give me the same feeling every time.
Yeah.
If you watch a comedian's content, you will get the feeling you are laughing every time. You feel like you know this person, and that's the thing. The consistency of that feeling is why people would follow you.
Follow you.
So I think that was the thing that I think people knew that we were very detailed in our videos. We would cover as much as possible in a smartphone or an app or something. We'll cover as much as possible, and that was the thing that they came back for, and that sort of helped us grow. I think in the first 4 years we got to 100,000 subscribers. The next year, we then added a finance series. Just that year alone, we got 100,000 more subscribers. Then the next year, in 6 months, we got 100,000 more subscribers. The other 6 months, we got over 100,000 subscribers. So it was like 200,000 the next year, 100,000 one year, and then right now we're like 730,000
That's a lot.
on YouTube. So
Yeah.
I think it was just me recognizing like if I was going to show up for people with the personal brand Fisayo Fosudo, I have to be consistent with the feeling and the value that I'm giving. It's not necessarily posting all the time.
But when you were thinking of starting it, were you thinking of the target audience? Did you feel like, because I feel Nigerians buy phones just because it's new, the latest phone, not really because of the spec. So
you're not wrong actually. And I think there was a time I was in a meeting with MTN and they were talking about, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but like it's like a lot of people that use iPhones are using used iPhones.
Yeah, in Nigeria, yes,
Yes,
of course.
like a
Yeah,
vast majority are
a
using
vast
youth for.
majority.
So
Yeah.
it's like maybe people think that okay, these people are trying to like, feel among, or just like use the. But again, like my audience, where like the people who follow me are so smart, and I've seen the comments. I always look at the comments, and I'm always like trying to dissect it and like read it like twice and understand. People know what they want, and I've seen that time and time again, and it just made me more sure that this was the right thing to do. Like making videos about phones and explaining the features. Even if it is 100 people is a lot. And these videos get like 20,000 views on average, more maybe. And I'm like super grateful for that. I can't fathom 20,000 people.
Yeah.
But, and I've never really had a viral video, which is weird. Only my unboxing videos go viral. The unboxing videos get like 20 million views every time, like 19 million views, 17 million.
Yeah.
But those are unboxing videos. I don't say
Yeah.
anything. I just
Anything.
unbox a product.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because it's language agnostic. Like there's no language in it. I'm not saying anything, but people are saying something. There's a visual
Yeah. And you do
communication.
it very well.
Yeah.
It's very
So
aesthetic.
yeah, we use like sound. We edit the sound and everything. But like for the videos, I think it's just all about like answering questions for people. We would look at all the perspectives. Like if I'm going to buy a phone, what are the things I need to know before I buy this phone? No matter how long it takes us, we will put all the detail in the video, and people found that valuable. Yeah.
Interesting. So, you were just majorly on YouTube, right? Before you
Yes.
moved to Instagram, or
Actually,
you did both.
I was doing all of them.
But YouTube picked up.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah,
Why do you think that is?
YouTube
A
picked
lot of
up.
people are struggling with
Yeah.
YouTube, so you can't just say. So
So
you have
you,
to tell us the tea. What's the secret?
so YouTube picked up because it's long form, and
Okay.
I think the thing I learned at some point was long form content makes it feel like the audience knows
No,
you
you.
more.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
there was this thing, I don't know how true it is or like if it is like verified,
Mm,
but if people spend 7 hours cumulatively with you, like they watch maybe like a 2 minute video and another 2 minute video, and the total adds up to 7 hours, it feels like they know you.
mm.
But YouTube gives you upload a 10-minute video. You see that you've shortened the amount of videos they need to watch
Yeah.
to know you for 7 hours. But you need a lot more videos for short form content. Maybe not a lot more. I feel like the attention spans have shrunk so much that it doesn't matter what you do now. But I think it was true for a while
When you started.
that the long form content was just, it had a lot more context. I could put all the details I wanted to put in a video for people to like get the gist and understand the product and do all of that. So I think that's something that helped people to resonate more with like the YouTube side of things. And we just grew. And okay, I would confess the other thing was the finance videos too. We made videos. So I have an economics degree,
Okay.
and I was like, this degree cannot waste. I have to make videos about like the Nigerian economy.
Yeah.
I can design, I can structure stuff. I know how to maybe write in a way. Maybe we should put all these things together and explain the Nigerian economy. So we did videos on inflation, personal finance, some stuff that's going on
Yeah.
in the economy, and people found that very valuable, like even more than the tech videos at some point. So that helped. At some point, we even interviewed the deputy governor of the CBN when the e-Naira launched, and it felt nice that these people are actually paying attention to this thing that I was doing, and that it became very valuable for people to watch like finance videos also on the channel. So
Yeah.
that really, really helped too.
So you did all of these things by yourself, right? You went from 0 to 700,000 subscribers all
myself.
by yourself, or were there some collaborations that you did that helped push you to some certain level?
I mean, yes, I had a lot of collaborations along the way, and they helped. But in terms of like the overall growth, I think it was it's just all the content
Okay.
put
Put
together.
together.
There wasn't any one.
Okay.
Like I said, I never really had a viral video. It's just the unboxing videos that did well. So sometimes those unboxing videos bring maybe like a couple tens of thousands of subscribers. But there's no one video that is like that really, really, really stands out that much.
So what goes into your creative process? Like how do you think of the stuff? Because I see you do different things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do a you versus you. Sometimes you wear native.
Yeah.
You know, what's your creative process like?
I think a big part of it is the team as well. So now we're like, I think I'd say we're like 8 people, but a couple of people that are in the studio with us like full time. There's like 3 people in the studio, and then two like there's a researcher, an animator, and then Stephanie who you met, and a couple of people as well that just like help. But I think that really really helps. We would gather ideas, we would debate the ideas. The ideas have to make sense for people that are watching. If not, there's no point. Like we want to make videos that when people watch, they learn something from, they feel better than they came, and they just want to watch more of this type of videos, and the kind of videos that we enjoy watching ourselves. So I wouldn't, first of all, I wouldn't work with a brand that I wouldn't use myself. I wouldn't do a video that I wouldn't watch. So I think maybe us having a high standard for ourselves really, really goes into the kind of video that we make. So it has to have like story. We have to be telling something. We have to be sharing something that you can tell your friend that, oh, I learned this thing and this is how it works. This is how this thing goes. And if they ask you, how did you know? It's like, oh, I learned it from this person. I learned it from Fisayo. So that would be amazing to see that happen.
It hasn't
Yeah.
happened.
You know, it always happens actually. So I'm just like, this always happens. Whenever I go outside like to the mall or something, people are stopping me and like, oh, thank you very much for that video. Or I watched this interview. Or I watched this video. That always happens like a lot. So I think I'm just like super grateful that that exists. But in terms of like a video, let me just say maybe if it's a review video, we get the smartphone, we test it for a bit. Someone on the team actually tests the charging speed every time. So there's somebody on the team, she's testing the charging speed. We'll document the charging speed for every percent, how long it takes to charge the phone. Somebody's going to write all the specs, all the things, the new things about the phone compared to the previous one. I'm going to go over it. I'll probably use it for a little bit more time and then like add my own context and the way I would like to say it. We'll come together, put a script, review the script, spell check the script. And that will take like maybe like 2-3 days to a week sometimes. We film and then we edit. If it is a video that requires animation, there'll be 2 people that edit it and 1 person that animates it. If it doesn't require much, there'll just be 2 people that edit it. Sometimes I'll now come and do the final edit and then we publish. So it might take a week to make a video. And in terms of like naira amount, I always peg it like each video for us costs maybe like 1 million naira to 2 million naira to make.
So definitely you must need constant inflow to be able to maintain that.
Yes.
But how do you maintain objectivity now? For example, you're being paid to
Not
review
always,
this
no.
stuff,
Not
right?
always, no.
Not always.
No.
Okay. But when you're paid to review,
So we
how
don't.
do you make sure
I wouldn't
you're
necessarily say
objective?
paid to review. So if we are working on a campaign, we would not call it a review.
Okay.
It's not a review anymore. It's just
Okay.
like this is the product, and it would show in the video like this is like we're just showing something.
You're promoting it.
And typically it's like short form content that we.
Okay. Okay.
But for the long form content, and that's why I really like YouTube. There's a lot more context. So those we rarely get paid for those. Like we rarely get paid to showcase stuff there.
Okay. Okay.
And if we do, is something that we are already using anyway. And then when we make a YouTube video, we say our mind like, this is this place that this is not working well. This is this place that this is working well. We're just we don't only tell, we will show, and we will show you like this is how this thing is working. And if it is broken, this is how it is broken. That kind of thing. So that way everybody that is about to buy a product gets the entire aspect of the product. There's only so much you can do in 90 seconds. You cannot really review something in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
You can badmouth something in 90 seconds, or you can praise something in 90 seconds. There's almost no in between in a short form. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, other than these things you just told us, which is like, first, I think you put in a lot of work into making your videos high quality. You have a team, that makes sure that everything that goes out is top notch before it goes out. And then, is there any other thing you do to ensure that you are who you are in terms of branding?
Oh,
Is there any other thing?
I wear a turtleneck.
I didn't want to ask you. I wanted you to say it by yourself. So was that intentional?
I wear a turtleneck, and I say without further ado. So I guess that helps.
So did you start with the turtleneck right from when you started?
I think it was like maybe in the first set of videos I wore, like, I only wore black in the videos. There's only one video on my channel where I didn't wear black, or
Okay.
at least in the beginning.
Is
anyway.
there a reason?
It was the first video. I interviewed an Uber driver, so I wore like a green shirt.
No,
I
I'm
was-
like asking if there's a reason you prefer black.
Oh, it's I mean it's consistent. I can
Okay.
shoot something today, and if I forget to shoot something, I can wear the same
Same
clothes
thing.
tomorrow and add to the shirt. Am I Ijebu? I have Ijebu blood.
Okay,
in-
that must be the
inside.
reason why.
But it's not. I'm not like. I'm from Lagos, so
Really?
yeah, I'm from Lagos.
But you have your Jebu blood.
There's some strand there. Like it's just there.
No, but it makes sense. So it was intentional.
Yes. it
Apart
was.
from the fact that you want to be able to continuity's sake, when you're shooting, it was intentional
Yes.
that you're wearing turtleneck.
So
neck.
Steve Jobs wears a turtleneck and jeans to present, and I stole it.
Oh,
it's just like- But
you just
Mark
felt
Zuckerberg
like,
also has like a bunch of. There was a time where he used to wear only grey tees, and he said something that having like this set of clothing is like one less decision to make every day. So if I need to shoot, I don't have to worry about what to wear. I have a bunch of turtlenecks, so I just pick one and I wear it, and I'm wearing one now. So that's what I just do.
Okay, cool. So how has it been? How's the journey been? The tech content creation journey been, and how would you describe the space in Nigeria, and
Yeah.
what is the contribution to the economy? Since you said you are an economist.
Nice. Okay. This is a very good question. I'll start with the journey before I go to like the impact. For the journey, a lot of things have happened that, well, I'll speak for myself. A lot of things have happened that I did not expect to happen. I've met people that I did not expect to meet. And I'm grateful that I have a team that I can support and like let them thrive and see like if they want to, pursue something, they can actually be emboldened and have the resources to go. Like there's somebody that used to be with my team. His name is Agbaje.
Okay.
He's now doing a lot, like he's doing amazing things now on his own. And I'm just like so proud of him. Sometimes if we
Yeah.
have something to do, I just call him, Alpha, help us work on this project. And I just like contract it to him. So that is nice that I'm trying my best to invest in like the learning of everybody on the team. So like investing in courses and things like that for everyone. The thing I do is when anybody joins my team, the first thing is I make them take a course on typography so that they understand what good type is, hierarchy and arrangement of text, color and contrast and all of that. So that is something I prioritize. And I know for sure, like personally, I take a lot of courses myself. So learning is super, super important. And knowing that these people are not just like working with me, but improving is beautiful to see. But like in terms of like the journey again, met all these amazing people. I can list so many things like interviewing the vice president of technology at Google. It's not something that I would, the Secretary of State is not something that I would like imagine. So many other smaller things that have happened and are about to even happen. And I'm just like, this doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
And in terms of the impact, there's something I want to do more, and there's something we did where I worked with Fuani Nigeria. There were we renovated 3 houses.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
renovated 3 houses. Um, documented the renovation of a school, and then rebuilt a house for someone.
That's
I
cool.
want to like do something even bigger, like more of that. It was very stressful. Each of those videos took a month to 2 months each, so our whole year was gone essentially. But that's just putting a smile on someone's face, making something inspiring, so that other people can actually be inspired to even do something similar or better.
Yeah.
I think that because when the MD of Fuani they just called me, we had a meeting, and we were just talking about it, and just like, what if other brands see it and just want to copy? That's the goal. If other brands see it and copy it and impact other people,
Yeah.
that's a win. So something like that, and again, like to the team, empowering team. But in general, I
Yeah.
don't want to overstate my importance in this world. Like, I'm not that important, to be honest. I'm just a guy that is making videos that are seemingly nice on the internet. But I always just imagine that education will thrive in Nigeria, and smart people will like watching smart content, you know. I did this thing where I went to YouTube and I wrote each one down, the top 100 most viewed content.
Yeah.
The top 20% is music. The second 20, no, sorry, the top 20% is comedy skits.
Comedy, okay.
Actually, is it
Yeah.
20 or 30? Then the next is music. So that's the P Square, the standard Afrobeat music. Then the next is Christian music, movies. There's no space for anything that has to do with education. And I feel like that's kind of representative of the general content that we consume. Again, like, every time I keep getting shocked that people actually watch my content. Like, I'm like, okay, people actually enjoy boring stuff like this. Okay, good, good, this is good. But like, I want more people to create educational content, or content that is helping people understand a concept. Maybe it's AI now that is everywhere. I would love to see more of that. And I think that for tech creators, all of us that have started making content, I'm seeing a lot more of that. And I'm so happy that a lot more people are seeing that you cannot just do comedy skits, which is amazing. I love comedies.
But everybody can do that.
But everybody can do that. Like, let people do stuff that people can learn from. And that would be so nice to see too.
Do you think that a lot of people are venturing into the tech content creation space right now? Or
I think a lot of people are doing a lot of things. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people make tech
no,
content.
I'm just talking about in your industry.
I
Are
am.
you seeing any improvements?
I'm seeing improvement, yes, definitely.
Okay.
I'm seeing there's so many people that are making stuff that I couldn't even dream of making. And I'm just so happy that this exists. Like, let more people do this. Let more people make content that is, like, visually engaging, educative, nice. Yeah.
How many years did you do your 9 to 5?
It was 2 years, I think, yeah.
2 years. How many years have you been doing content
9
creation?
years.
Content creation. 9 years. Okay. So in 9 years,
About 9 years.
about 9 years, yes, Fisayo has grown from 0 to 700,000 subscribers on YouTube.
And in total, it's like 1.5 million.
1.5 million,
across
yes.
all the platforms.
Yeah.
Which is,
It's
sorry, I don't
amazing.
know why I said that. I just feel like it's. So we're designing my website. I just redesigned the website, and
Okay.
it's very nice. Like, the designers are so good.
Okay.
The
I'll
designers
check
and
it
developer.
out.
And we're just like, oh, let's put the numbers there just for vanity metric. It's not like people following you doesn't necessarily mean anything, really. It's people watching the content and interacting that means a lot. But we're just like, let's just see. so that we don't have to think about this anymore.
Yeah.
So if they ask us, it's like, oh yes, we have 1.5 million people following us.
Across all the channels, which is
Yeah.
interesting. All right, so to continue, he's done that in like, in about 9 years, and he's grown his team. You started by yourself, right? And now you have a team of almost 10 people working with you. He's traveled the world. Am I right?
In a way,
Yes, because of this content creation. He's bought his dream car, right?
almost
Yeah, but you did buy a
one of
Lexus. Yes,
yes,
one of them. He has bought a house, right?
yes,
On the island, right?
yeah.
Oh, you know what to say. All of this with just content creation. That's to show you that if you really put your heart and your mind into this thing, you would also make it. But it didn't start because of the money. You heard him. He started because of passion, and he continued to deliver value. And the bulk, sorry, am I allowed to say the bulk of the money is coming from YouTube, right?
Yeah, well, making
Or
content.
brands?
I say making content in general. There's, how would I put this split? YouTube goes like, I would say it's more like 60-40.
Okay.
There were times where it was more. There were
Mm.
times where it would be less.
Okay.
But yeah, like we've not worked with a brand in like a long while.
And
But
but
we'll start working with
YouTube is
brands again this year.
consistent.
Yeah, but YouTube.
Mm.
His views.
But it favors people who have a lot of subscribers, yeah, and views.
It favors people who have a lot of views,
Views,
Yes.
okay.
not just subscribers.
And I think you also later still advise people on how to get those views. Not that you need to be focused on the views. You have to be focused on the value.
Yes,
and
the
then
content.
and then the views will come. But I think it's actually very interesting and amazing to see you have done all of these things, because sometimes people still feel like, oh, are you sure content creation is something that you should do? It's not something that you can do and get rich. But what would you say to that?
So, I would say do not go into content solely because of money. Please go into it because of money, but don't go into it solely because of money. You can actually make money making content. I think there's value is the thing that you are giving when you are making a video, and the thing I talked about, the consistency of feeling,
Yeah.
is what will make you keep going. But when you think of content, think of, what do I want people to feel when they watch this video, and what do I want them to live with when they watch this thing? Are they going to come back? Are they going to, enjoy this thing? Do I even like this thing I'm making? Would I like this thing enough to keep doing this thing over and over again?
Yeah.
Those are some of the questions that people should ask. And once you figure that out and you put out, the content, that's like the first step. Like, okay, this exists in the world. How can you then start making the kind of content that you want to get paid for? So this is like working back. Like, you want to get paid, yes, but there's no brands, there's nothing, there's no ad revenue yet. But what are the kinds of content that would actually make people get paid?
Yeah.
Maybe you want to look at other people making content. There's nothing wrong with looking at other pieces of content or other people making stuff and getting inspiration, not copying, getting inspiration from what they're doing. How are you going to put yourself in that state and then work backwards to making your own piece of content that you like, you enjoy, and that people will like? Because everybody sort of has a tribe. There's no way you like something that some other sets of people don't also like. You would like something and you feel you are weird, but no, there are people like you out there that actually like the same thing you like. They may not necessarily be tens of millions, they may be small, like tech. Because I wish we had a lot more audiences that watch this, but but they may be small, but they like the same thing you like. And if you like it enough that you are willing to go all in and like share this knowledge and learn more, because I'm not an expert. I'm actually learning alongside the audience as we're making this thing. We're making this thing together. any video I make, I have like learned, deliberated, we've worked on it for a long while, and then we publish. We're all learning this thing together. So are you willing to learn with the audience as you
Yeah.
go? And then, you can make money from brands reaching out, willing to work with you, and then you can make money from the ads on your YouTube videos, or like, affiliate revenue from something that you talked about. There's a link there, people click, you get a commission, that kind of thing. Or you can sell a product.
Or you can
So
sell the product,
there's also
yeah.
that.
But
Yeah.
you're not selling the product yet.
I've never sold it.
Talk about that.
Yeah. I no, I've this is so funny. Like, I've never sold a product because I don't want to just like sell something to people that. But like recently, I've started thinking of something. I did a thing where I called 50 people
Mm.
one on one for free. I didn't charge them anything. I just willing to know, like, what do you want to learn about content creation? What is it about content creation, that you want to know? And these calls range from like 30 minutes sometimes to 2 hours sometimes. And this is individual calls. And this is a lot of time that could have you spent to do something
Yeah.
else. But like this, it just started making me like think about what do people actually want when it comes to content creation. And I documented everything, wrote all the answers in like this big Excel sheet, and just like learned so much. So maybe that's something that I would want to do sometime. But that's something that definitely got me thinking, because I don't just want to ask people for money. That's just
You
yeah,
want to be able to create value, and that's
exactly.
a very good thing.
Yeah.
That's a very good trait you have. I'm coming to you guys. I know you have questions.
Okay.
I just wanted to chip in again. Let me even ask this question before I say this thing. Do you consider yourself a celebrity?
No, I'm not a celebrity.
You're not.
I'm not. But it's good that people actually see me and are willing to take pictures with me. It happened today, like at the MCN event I'm just
Yeah.
coming from. Like there were 2 people there who took pictures, and it's just nice that exists. But I think it's because of the work, not
Work-
because of me.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say is that there are a lot of people who have a lot more numbers, a lot more connects, but they are also have not been able to make as much money as you on social media.
Oh really?
Or
I
you
didn't know.
didn't know? Okay.
Okay.
Yes, they're not able to, and they crave some sort of connection with brands. I mean, look at you interviewing the US Secretary of State. They crave some of these things, but they're not able to achieve it, maybe because of the kind of content they put out, right? And I don't like to advise people that do this your content this way, do it that way. You have to do what suits
Yes,
you,
yes.
yeah. But I'm just putting it out there to let you know that because of the kind of content he does, even though, like he said, he has not even gone viral for his content, yeah, apart from the unboxing videos, but his brand is able to open doors and step into places that ordinarily other people wouldn't have been able to have access to. I mean, almost all the events I've gone to, Fisayo is there. Even the last
But
one.
you also did too. So.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's cool. So what would be your advice, to people who are coming up and want to take this content creation thing serious, especially for YouTube, because it seems YouTube is where the money
Yes.
really is, right?
This is very interesting. YouTube pays, I believe the number is around 50% or 55%. I can't remember. But YouTube pays nearly half or more than half of. So this is the way it works. You see a video, you watch YouTube videos, you see like ads there. That ad is what gets the creators paid.
Mm-hmm.
And if 1,000 people watch it, they get maybe, depending on the location. If it's Nigeria, for 1,000 people that watch that video with that ad, you get maybe like $1 or $2. Now, depending on the niche. So like, when I was making videos about finance, I will confess, we had a video where for the 1,000 people that watched it, we earned $18.
$18.
Yes, for 1,000 people.
Yeah.
That video has almost 1 million views.
Wow.
So we made over $18,000 from one single video. And it happened like more than once. I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. But that's not why I kept making finance videos.
Okay, that's not the sole
That's
reason
not
why you kept
exactly.
making it.
So tech videos don't make as much,
Mm.
but I love tech videos so much. If I make minus $1,000, I will still make tech videos. So finance videos are not like the super priority, but people find them valuable, and that's why I make them. I wouldn't make something that people don't find valuable. That's the only reason we would spend time. Like everybody in the studio knows, the only reason we will spend time to make a video is if people are going to benefit from the video.
Benefit from it.
There's no if people are not going to. We have cases where people are not going to benefit from the video. There are brands that are willing to pay a lot of money. We will say no, and we'll send the product back or just like not do anything. So unless people are going to benefit from it, we would we'll make a video. So I would say like so back to calculations, like for every 1,000 views there's a number, and it depends on the niche, depends on the industry, depends on
YouTube
the
sets
location.
that, right?
YouTube sets that, but it depends on the location. So sometimes if you get views from the US, it is a lot more valuable, and this is not any discrimination. It's because of the advertisers.
Okay.
In Samsung US might be willing to spend like $1 million on ads this few weeks.
Yeah.
But in the Nigerian may not be willing to spend that much and not going to spend $1 million on YouTube ads. So the creators there will benefit more, or the people who watch videos from there
Will benefit
regardless of the country they watch the video from, they'll benefit more. So that's why sometimes the earnings can really, really fluctuate on YouTube. So they change a lot, but I'll say like anybody who wants to make content and is willing to like explore opportunities that are different, I would say consider mastery. So mastery is spending time to understand a topic or immerse yourself in a field and then becoming the person that they call for that field. I feel like if you think of technology content in Nigeria, maybe you think of Fisayo Fosudo. I hope so.
Yeah.
That you think of Fisayo Fosudo when it comes to technology.
I asked yesterday who was the first person or the first African to ever use the Samsung S25, and everybody was saying Fisayo.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I'm not the first.
I know you're not the first, but
It's
they thought
actually
it
a
was
big
you.
banner.
Of course, but they thought it was you. So, so your name comes to mind when tech is mentioned.
But I saw it. I saw it there on we were invited to the event. We were invited to the event that day. So, yes. But yeah, like if think of mastery, think of how you can dominate this field, or let me not say dominate. How you can be be in this field and learn so much and gather so much knowledge that it's you that you think of. And the way to do it is being an apprentice. So when you come into a field, don't come in with any assumption. Don't assume that you know anything about this field. Actually come in with a childlike state. Come in with you are blank and you don't know anything. You may know something, but drop everything you know and just come like a blank. The tabula rasa, a blackboard willing to be written upon. You come in and you soak up all the knowledge you can, learn as much as you can. The reason why children learn languages better than adults is because they know that they don't know. Or maybe they don't know that they don't know, but they just don't know.
Yeah,
but they are willing to learn because they are just open in that state. And there are people that are older that can actually have that childlike state. They can actually be willing to learn, and they are open to learn. So keep that in mind, like be willing to be the apprentice, in the field. Then you spend that time and understand the field and learn and do the work. And then it will take some time. It cannot happen immediately. And if it does, good for you. But it may not just happen immediately. And you have to know that. And the thing I said in the beginning of this interview is keeping the end in mind. You must have like that place that you're willing to get to. I feel like I haven't gotten to the point yet. I feel like I haven't even done much. And I'm still trying to get to that point. So have that end in mind. And then everything that you're working, every day ask yourself, like, this thing I'm doing right now, is it contributing towards that point? And actually stop when you get to that point. Like, just stop. Maybe you continue making your content, maybe you continue, but like stop the advancement of it, but start doing something else, or maybe improve what you're doing, but use it to benefit people or impact people, give back, that kind of thing. So, but have the end in mind,
In mind.
and then work towards it. The end might be very huge, and you may not even get there, and that's the beautiful thing. It's like the journey thing where you're just enjoying the journey and like
Yeah.
you're working. So the other aspect is learning two different fields, learning two different things, and then finding the point, the middle point. So there's there's when I first started, I was a graphic designer, and I am a very good graphic designer. I'm a very good user interface designer. I know typography, and I know it very well. Like I know what good type is, and I'm very very deliberate with like typography choices and all of that. And I've taken a bunch of courses on typography. So that graphic design knowledge sort of helped me when I was making videos. I then learned how to make videos. I learned how to edit, and I know all the tools in Premiere. I've taken courses. I've taken certification courses on Premiere, so I know Premiere Pro. So I joined those two things. In a way, I'm like I kind of have this superpower where I know how to design and I can make videos. So
Yeah.
I can make videos that are very well designed in a way, if that's a thing.
Yeah.
So what if you can study two fields and then find the middle point? Sometimes the middle point may be points that people are not even aware of. And you can find this in almost anywhere. Think of it like making content about some field and exploring it from this other field. What if you are making content about, so there's this post by my friend who owns Vistanium. People always talk about like, people always focus on like the LinkedIn success, I made something, or I raised something.
Yeah.
What about cleaners in school? What is their story? Like people who clean, people who sweep the streets, that kind of thing. Like maybe you can bring the visually appealing content and focus the attention on this aspect. What are those two fields? They might be so different, but what is the middle point? That's another way you can master something, and then you can be the one doing that thing. And when it's unique, people will look at you. You are not just another person that is copying this
Yeah.
person. You are now this new person, or you have this new field. And again, there's nothing new under the sun, but you have found a way to mix two things, two worlds that may not necessarily have met, but you are the one that brought it together. It may not work out in the beginning, but then people, after a while, after you are now the authority, people are like, oh, have you guys seen what this person is doing? And then they pay attention. And when you were making the content on like ads, I hadn't seen anything like that before. And that's why I like followed your page. I always share your content to people all the time. So that's the thing that, I would say like people should gravitate towards. So in the first aspect, if you really, really understand something, you might now strike on a field. When you study something deeply, you might strike on something that nobody else has thought of.
Yeah.
And then you are now the authority in that place. So
It's important to be an authority in your field, right?
well, I mean, there's benefits there.
Benefits. Cool. So, guys, have any questions for Fisayo?
Yes. Mr. Fisayo. Basically, I just want to unbox. Congrats. I mean, I feel like I'll be like one of the guys that first discovered you 9 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And for me personally, I'll be like, I don't like this guy. Simply because it feels like you're too smooth. It's too good to be true. To me, I feel like right now that I know that it's AI, it makes sense now. I think you're an AI.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, it's you effortlessly do what you do, and it's just raise that consciousness. Like, okay, who is Fisayo? Like, you just want to know. For me in my head, I'm like, this guy now body guy. There's nothing you can tell me. Let's go back. Like, how is childhood like? Really. Who is Fisayo? Like, are you the firstborn? How's childhood like, and how did you, get to pick up the talent? How did that happen?
I was actually born in Ajegele. I was born in a place called, the first 10 years of my life were in Ajegele. So
How
there
did you
was,
survive Ajigule talking like this?
oh my God. And there's nothing wrong with that. The funny thing is that we're renovating when we're renovating two of the houses we're renovating. I actually went back to my childhood home
Oh,
and I saw it, and it looks so small. When you're a
mm,
child, everything looks so big,
big,
but when I
yeah.
went there, it was so small, and I was just like standing there, and I'm like, oh my God, I actually grew up here.
Mm.
But yeah, like Ajingule was amazing. I think so. I also went to a public secondary school. That was I was bullied a lot actually. Like it was just insane. But I was grateful to discover books early. So I think reading books really, really helped to take my mind off the other things because, you know, it's very easy to be bullied, and then when you get to that senior level, you actually want to do your own back,
Yeah.
like
Mm.
have the juniors do whatever. But my school son he enjoyed himself. I never let anything happen to him, and I think I just wanted to reverse that. But there's only so much you can do anyway. But yeah, like I, um, I think I discovered books and creativity. I started drawing. I actually started drawing in primary school, but like I did a lot more. It's just I transitioned to economics or to the commercial department. So I didn't get much time to explore like the creative aspect, but I just really, really loved reading. And, grateful for my uncle. He gave me a bunch of books and I just immersed myself. University, the same thing. I was just like reading. And it just became clear to me like there's a lot more that I can do in this world than just exist. And I think I was looking for friends that felt the same way, and that really helped. There's so much that I could have done, but thankfully I didn't do. And yeah, I'm not like perfect or anything, but at the same time, I think I just discovered books, and they just really, really helped to.
What about your parents?
Oh my God, my dad is a lecturer, so
Oh,
obviously I
is
had
it
to read.
lecture?
He's a lecturer, so I had to also like read. A funny thing is, I had a carryover in guess this course in computer science.
Really?
Yes,
How
you see
come?
now like my script was missing. I got the highest score in the test, but if you only score 30, that's
Yeah.
an F. My exam script was missing, so
Okay.
and I
Oh,
pleaded and begged, and they sent us away. So
wow.
I had to carry over the course.
Congratulations.
But I vowed that I'm not going to score anything less. So the next grade I had like a 4.9 something. And then I just kept getting grade after grade. But the carryover messed up my
Mm.
whole academic thing. So I ended up graduating with a 4.0. But it's not so bad. Like I don't have so much regrets anymore.
Mm.
But yeah, like that's just so weird that I carried over computer. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just stay in Nigeria for a while. And just stay there. Um, were you were you actually born when there were like a lot of riots in Ajigule,
So
killings? And,
I
because I schooled in
actually
Ajigule too as well.
You were
okay.
born
What school?
1995,
What
right?
school did
I
you go
went
to?
to it's a school called Mayola.
Okay.
It's just at the end of like Ajegule. The I don't know what that street is called. It's Ajeromi Felodu.
Ajero, I think I know
Yeah.
where that is. So, yeah.
I was indoors, don't worry. I was indoors. I was indoors.
Mm,
I didn't get to go out much.
mm.
But when I did I would injure myself, so I'll just come back. I would hit my head on the wall or I would just go back inside. But yeah, like I would observe from the window.
Basically, I understand you because I mean, I'm from the hood too as well, and I was indoors until I was not indoor no more. But basically, I get that feeling. I think that's drive you in terms of discovering who you
Yeah.
are early on and everything because And then the quietness, I same thing as me too as well, so I could relate,
Yeah.
but because I was worried. I'm like, how is this guy this smooth? I need to learn this, and it can't be taught. I think it's your personality,
Yeah.
and it's quite interesting how this is brilliant. How you could now use this, to become who you are, and that's what strikes me the more. Like I'm looking at you. I'm serious. I always just get jealous. Like, what?
So
How
I,
can
I
I? How
actually
can I? How can I be this smooth?
I used to be
Plus,
very
just
shy, honestly.
yeah, like in your videos, it just oozes like shyness, and the brilliant thing is, then you still captivate at the same time. So that is magical to me. Like how, like when you're talking, even right now, your vibration, everything is just the same level. I study sound so as well. I'm a producer engineer, and you're not going down, you're not going low. That can be taught. And
Thank you.
I must also say the turtleneck, everything smooth. That's why the companies ask you if you are from
Oh my
Nigeria.
god. Yeah.
All of that can be taught, and I must say, like, congrats,
Thank you.
everything you've become and everything. But and also I just want to ask again, you how is it important for you to not be like just be yourself? There's you will have seen so much success.
A lot of
No one like you,
distractions.
and then you still stay true to yourself. How did that happen? Because when everybody wants to get into the space, you try to like study people and see maybe you can be like that, and I think that's where people get it all wrong. But you didn't. From the onset, you just stayed true to yourself.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for the compliments. Like I think I didn't I don't deserve the praise, honestly. I just feel like
Oh, so
it's
humble.
oh my gosh. I think is a lot, but yeah, thank you so much. Um a lot of it is also like my team. They are very good editors, everybody. And it's from a lot of feedback, corrections and stuff. But yeah, we've all grown together, and we have all like they put so much time and effort in the videos that we do that it seems like it's smooth, but it's not. Like we make a lot of mistakes, when we're filming, but it just helps that we figured out a system of really really understanding the product and understanding what we're going to say before we even turn on the camera. We've done all the research, we've done all the work, and this happens for every single device. We've done all the research, we've done all the work. Once we're ready to shoot, we shoot once and we're done. And that really, really helps. But it's what you don't see. What you see is the product, but what you don't see is the time it took to research, to write all the shots, to write everything. Every single thing we do, we write everything down. So that just really helps. But in terms of like staying true to myself, I think in a way it's so I always look at life as life is a set of choices, and everything we do is every what we are now a is an equation of like it's not equation, it's like it's a summation of all the choices that we have made. So I chose to be here. I chose to sit down at this point. I could have called and said, "Oh, I'm not coming anymore," and disappointed everybody. I chose to go somewhere. And if I didn't do all of those things, that changes life in a way. It changes the path that we're going to take. It changes people's perception of you. It changes a lot of things. And you might just be going in one way, but one choice you make can change every single thing, you know? And I think that I sort of learnt that. Then I also learnt like putting the time in something and knowing that even if it fails, I tried my best. I actually will try my very, very, very best to make sure that something actually comes out of this. And if it doesn't, I did really try. And this is the best they're going to get from me. So I think that is what I think. That is who I am in a way. Like, just I'm just trying my best. Sometimes and this is a problem that a lot of people will have, and this even relates to content creation. Like, you might want to be perfect, and that's not really a good thing. And even in life and in content creation, I tried to be perfect in some things. I realized that that is a recipe for disaster in a lot of cases. So it's good if you tried. Actually, if you are trying, you are already doing a good job. So I think that's just, maybe if I'll give any advice, is actually to just imagine, like, imagine the best case scenario and you trying to get to that best case scenario. I think you're already doing a good job. You're just trying to get there. You may not necessarily see it, but if you zoom out, you see that you've made so much progress because of all the things you've tried. But in the thick of it, like, it doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't feel like you're making much progress. I remember I was going to quit making videos in the fourth year. I wasn't making as much money when with 100,000 subscribers. I said something about making finance videos. Honestly, if I didn't make finance videos, I would have stopped making videos on
Are you
YouTube.
serious?
I would have just given up with the 100,000 subscribers and just like, yeah, I'm done. But yeah, I was, working with a lot of brands. I was able to save up. I think that year was the first time I saved up over 10 million naira for the first time ever. And we've gone on to save heck of a ton more. But like, then I was like, maybe I'll just stop making videos because this is not actually paying. We put in so much time, so much effort for nothing. But I made a video, and the first video I made $1,500. I have never made $1,500 from a video in 4 years. And I was like, okay, let's see. And then I did another one, and it made $1,500 too. And I was like, okay, maybe we'll just do, like, we did 22 videos that year. In a single year, I made more than I made in 4 years combined. In 1 year. And it was because I was trying, and I got to that point where I was stuck, and I was like, let me just even try once more.
Yeah.
If I didn't do that video, I would not even be sitting here. Like, I would just conclude that it was a failed project, and it was done. I remember, like, going to Dubai for the first time by myself. I just went to Dubai just to look at the place, and it felt very good, and it felt very inspiring. Like, you know what? I think I can do this. So yeah.
Do you ever get, sorry, I'll come back to you. Do you ever get tempted though? Like when you see other people going viral, being popular,
Yes,
getting a
I
lot.
get tempted
You get tempted.
to copy. Yes. We are human. We will see something that is very shiny, and there's no way you see something shiny and you wouldn't look twice. Like, you will look twice. So yes, I have tried. Like you mentioned, I wore agbada at some point.
Yeah.
I've worn a wig in one of my videos
It's
before.
a lie.
Oh my God, thank God nobody has seen that video. Please don't look for it. I wore a wig. I was like, it was actually a finance video. That's funny. I was talking about how I made my first money online ever. So I was a freelancer. I did a design for a client. I was in the bus, and I made $500. I was in the BRT, and I screamed in the BRT. People were just looking at me like, who is this? Was this person okay? Because why are you shouting in the bus? Like, we're all just going home and like sit down. But everybody would just be existing. Nobody realized what happened to me. Like, I had made money online on the internet for the first time. It felt real, and from that moment on, I was working every month. And I think we got to a point where I was making like $1,000 every single month from just designing. And that was so cool. I was like,
For Nigerian clients.
no, I was designing for like clients abroad. Yeah, I was freelancing, just as a freelance UI designer.
Okay.
So I did that for I think for a while, and that really helped. That was part of why I was able to save up to $5,000 and just like put everything in camera gear and start the channel. So
Interesting. You have more questions?
No, no. Yeah. So you didn't go out when you were a kid, but now you're outside. You're in Dubai. You know, you're traveling the world. You
It's
know,
just coming back from the US.
it's outside, like I said,
Yes,
everywhere.
everywhere.
You
Yeah.
know. But what aside from tech, aside from work, what do you like to do?
I like to, I really like to watch documentaries.
Mm.
I'm, I'm looking forward to probably making a film or making a documentary, one or the other. And I want to do something. So I made a tweet. I said, I am, I believe so much in the Nigerian creative talent. If you check every other industry, you know, we're doing a lot in the other industries, but creativity,
We have not
no
scratched
pun
the
intended.
surface.
No, I'm talking about the name of the show.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Now I get it.
Like, yeah, like for creativity, like we are we are prominent, like as Nigeria, like we people a lot of people listen to us, our music and movies as well. Like we influence so much, and I'm so fascinated by documentaries, movies, and I'm just like very, very, very interested in that space. And who knows, maybe like that's probably the next thing.
Cool.
So yeah, like I watch documentaries.
Okay, back to Ajigule.
Uh-uh.
Did you do, did you do the dance? Any of the dance in the Ajigule?
I didn't have the chance, unfortunately. So like I said
What
like
about the artists there?
so my dad was a so I don't know if my dad will be happy. Sorry, but like he lost his job and he did photography.
Oh,
So in
okay.
a way, it's like, oh, I am the reincarnate of.
Oh, I see. So
So
that's
I
where
have
it
my
came
dad's camera
from.
in my house store video. I actually put
Mm.
his camera. His camera is in my house. He
Mm.
had a photo camera and a video camera. I have in my shelf. Um, but he did photography when things were hard, and things were hard, but we didn't know. Like, and I'm so
Yeah.
grateful for them. Like, they
Yeah.
didn't make us feel like things were hard, but things were actually not the best. But yeah, like
How many of you?
what, four?
You're the
Oh my god,
first?
how am I not sure? We're actually four. I'm the firstborn. Yes,
Okay.
yes, we're four, right? I just need to be very sure. We're four.
Okay.
Yes, we are. Anyway, I don't know why that happened, but yeah, he took up photography, and we're just like indoors. We're just there was a computer in the house, but it was for like Tetris, on
Mm.
nothing too fancy. But there were books too, and there was this like book of like facts. We were just like inside, or we were like in family at families' houses.
Mm.
So I didn't really get much chance to do anything. And like my dad is also is a lecturer. He's very very he's like, how will I describe him? He's the guy that would fix everything. Like he would climb the tank and clean it. He would
Mm.
fix the pipe. He would change the. He would just do, and I just admire that about him. Like so, he was always hands on with us, and I remember I did my jam
Mm.
and then post jam, and I didn't miss the cutoff for post jam.
Oh.
And he called me to his office, and he was just like, he gave me this very stern talk, and I was crying. And we went through like we did diploma, and he paid everything, and he just told me, "This is your last chance," and I'm like, "Yes," and I didn't take it for granted. Like I was so serious, and I was like studying, and like there and hands on. Like I was just so yeah. It was he really really tried for all of us, honestly.
Oh,
So, yeah.
that's cool.
That's
Any
where
other question?
that's where photography. So you picked up? Did you pick up like photography from him?
Not necessarily, but I was fascinated by it. But I didn't. We have albums at home, so he took a lot of those pictures, and I just really liked it. I remember one day in church, he took a picture of a group of people, and in my head I was like, you know the thing where say picture is worth 1,000 words. That thing just kept ringing in my head, and seeing him taking a picture and it becoming a physical. You know, back then
Yeah.
we print the
Yeah.
film. Seeing him do that, I think that was just like very fascinating to me. But I don't know. It wasn't necessarily a direct link. Maybe it was just in my subconscious, but there wasn't like a direct link. Videos came at like 17. We moved away from Ajegunle at the time when I was like super inspired to. So it was church in Ikorodu. Went to Ikorodu, church there that I actually made my first video.
Do you realize that you just said you went from Ajegule to Korodu?
I feel like this is well known. Everybody knows this. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry, but also you shoot yourself, right?
Yeah. So well, not necessarily now. Like I have a team, so we
Yeah,
have
when
like
you started.
yeah. When I say I shot, yeah, I shot everything myself.
Wow, so you had to learn that
I had to.
self-taught.
No, I worked with a logistics startup, and I did a lot of that for them.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily my job description, but like I took it up, and I was so fascinated by it, and I was just like learning and doing a lot more than I was supposed to, and just like contributing, and I was learning so much. And they had this resource in my bio. I always call myself visual storyteller. They had this resource of visual storytelling, and it's so basic. Visual storytelling is just telling stories with images and like videos, pictures, you know, something people can visually see.
Yeah.
And I read like the book, and it gave me so many ideas how to be deliberate with it. And I really, it's boosted like me being involved in their social media and being involved in all the things that they were doing. And I was able to do a better job. I think I was able to do a better job then. And when I left, it just made sense. Like everything just fell into place. Like I wasn't starting from scratch. Like I learned so much, and I was just applying what I learned. I knew how to design already. Everything just like flowed naturally.
Well done. I'll just say, like, basically your precision is a reflection of who you are, you know.
Yeah.
And that's something like I really like when I'm watching you. I'm like, is this person so is it real? Because like you said, the picture quality, everything, to you know, to the way you speak, the way the turtleneck, everything just it's just
So it was in, I think it was in Ikorodu actually. It was in Korea I made my first video. And after I made videos for a while, something kept bothering me. Like I didn't want to just make I didn't want to make videos the same way as anybody. So I actually invested in a motion control equipment. And this is I did so many foolish things. First of all, like nobody should invest their life savings in something that they are not sure about. And I did that. I did it again. I saw motion control equipment. I remember at the time it was $3,000. I don't know how. I don't know why I did it. But like I watched the videos and I felt like if I was able to, so it's a slider and a head module, control with your phone. It moves by itself and records. That's what I used to start my channel. Like not necessarily start, but like grow the channel. I had shots that you can never get with a normal camera or a normal slider or a normal tripod. So I did that in the beginning of my channel. Like nobody's watching my videos like that. Why am I doing this? So I just wanted the videos to look amazing. And I learned the tool. I bought the tool. It was so expensive and I had to pay a lot in customs duties. Oh my God, customs duties. Like, but I was able to make videos that I could program the shots and the camera would move from this point to that point.
Yeah.
And I would repeat shots. I would duplicate the elements in the videos. They were nice videos. People did not really take notes of it, but people that took note of it, they were like, "Oh wow, this is really really cool. Like, how did you do that?" And yeah, I guess that was good. Even if it was a few people, it was worth it.
You think it's a few people, but I think that the totality of the video is what others would like. They
Yeah.
might not pinpoint that, oh, maybe it's this thing or that thing, but everything
Yes.
put together just
Yeah.
makes it wonderful.
So yes, I
Yeah.
totally agree. Like the whole package,
The whole
now
package.
becomes something, and that's the thing. Like it made me even go further into like details of products or anything I'm putting on channel. Like we would try as much as possible to go into as much detail, so that if you're making a purchase decision, like this is, and at some point it just became like, oh, we're just waiting for your video, so that we'll know
You
whether
know
we
what
should
to
buy
buy.
it or not. Like that was so cool, and that is so cool that it still happens. So yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Oh, check first.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So my question is, I'm very sure you saw the power play that happened between US and China. That is OpenAI.
Oh my God, yes.
So, as someone who has been exposed internationally to these people, so beyond the products, they are creators on that. I don't know if that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what is that consistent thing that you say you noticed with these people when you are with them? That, like, when it comes to their mindset, that you can adopt as a creator and create content that can speak globally.
Thank you so much. This is a very good question, actually.
She's a tech person.
Yeah,
too.
I'm so happy you asked this question because, so the first time I went to the US, it was the US government that invited me, the US consulate here in Nigeria. And they were like, so sorry, I'm going to rant for a bit before I
It's
answer your
okay.
question. But like, it was, there were only 2 people in the world that they nominated for, it's called the Tech for Good tour. And only 2 of us were chosen. We're supposed to go to a bunch of tech companies and look at what they're doing and just make stories about it. And when I went to apply for the visa, because the first time I applied for a year's visa was denied. But the second time they were like, oh, you interviewed the Secretary of State. This is at the visa office. Like they were like, oh, yeah, it's Fisayo, sure, just go. And then I didn't say much, and I got my visa the next day. It never happens. So anyway, that aside, I was going to go to the US. That I think it was the next few days. Being there and talking to, went to Cloudflare, or spoke with Cloudflare, went to NASA, the State Department. I just went myself to MIT, and then I think Harvard as well. Then, oh my God, I'm forgetting. So there was the media company. Which other one? We went to a bunch of them, Sha. What I see is people are thinking about other people. How can you make something that will benefit
People.
the next person? But the other thing I saw is if we want to grow, and this is as a nation now, if we really, really want to grow, we cannot think about just ourselves. We actually have to think about doing something that I may not necessarily benefit from today. Doing something that 40 years from now, people will benefit, even if I don't benefit. We actually need a lot more people like that. Okay, yeah, we went to the Boston City Council. We went to Boston Dynamics, the robotics company. So we saw robots. Like I got to test the robots. It got to a point where they said we cannot record beyond this point. We saw all the robots that are in development and they're like advanced. They have a room. I think I'm allowed to talk about it. They have a room where they train robots 24/7. These robots are going up and down. There's one robot that just climbs the stairs up and down, up and down. There's another robot that is opening doors. The robot now knows how to open doors with AI. He knows how to open doors, close the door, goes around, opens the door, closes the door. It does that repeatedly until it breaks. If there's any fault, they'll diagnose it. Do they have to do this? They don't. But like that, even that's aside. The Boston City Council, the community, they're picking mattresses from people, recycling it. They don't have to do it. They're digitizing the streets. They don't have to do it. The laws of the city, they they train AI to break them down, to educate people. That these are the laws that we're debating. These are the laws we've passed across. Do they have to do that? But they're making it easy for everybody. And the thing I thought about is, I think that for us, Nigerians, Africans, the only way we're going to grow is if everybody drops selfishness. If we start thinking about what can I do, what can I contribute that will make this place better, and in 40 years I'm not going to see the result. It seems like a foolish thing to do. That, oh my God, why are you thinking about this country? You can actually, like, it makes sense to do stuff now and make money for yourself. And I wouldn't blame anybody for doing that. But the only way we are going to grow is if we have a bunch of people that think about the next 4 decades and do stuff even if they know that they won't benefit from it. The other thing is infrastructure, trains, or like, and it sounds weirdly bogus, but why do we not have trains everywhere? Why are we still using buses?
Valid question.
Why are the buses we're using so bad? Like, why are there no lanes, proper lanes? Or why is there no... So there's something that we also do. We don't have proper signs. Like, you will get lost a lot in a lot of places. And why are there maybe tech companies, why are they not thinking about everybody's, like, movement? The next thing is data. We need to know who we are. If not, we will never, ever succeed. How can we know who we are? How can we know everybody's earnings as a country now? Know what everybody's earning, or know what a region is earning, and then target resources to better that region. Those are all the things, like data, knowing people, knowing everybody in a certain way, in a much granular way, and knowing how many new jobs are being created, how many people are unemployed, all of those things. If you have data, you actually now have power and you can now make decisions. But I don't think that... I went to the National Bureau of Statistics, actually. This is something that happened. Immediately I came back, the first thing I did was I went to the National Bureau of Statistics. And I'm not allowed to say what I want to say. But, like, let's just leave it that way. But, like, we desperately need people that... The underlying factor was we desperately need people that are willing to commit to changing stuff, even if they won't benefit from it. And we need those people en masse. Like, we need a lot of those people. If not, we are not going to even get started in the next 40 years. AI is like the least of... AI is the least of our problem, because there's health, education, poverty. we can go on and on with this. But, like, there's all these things. But the thing is, what if we actually start and know who we are? What if we have data and we know the places that need and the places that have, and how to redistribute things smartly with numbers, and then recruit people that actually care about us. The other thing is, I actually looked into, like, driving tests. Okay, I went to the UK and I was like, I took a series of questions on driving tests, and I realized that to be a driver in the UK, you actually have to care about the next person on the road. I don't know I don't know that in Nigeria when you're driving, I don't think the next person cares about me. They will jam me and move on. There's this rule that they have where if somebody wants to overtake you, wait 4 seconds. Count 4 seconds in your head and wait for them to let them overtake you. Maybe they have somewhere that they're going.
Maybe
Actually
there's
count
an
1,
emergency.
2, 3, 4. They call it 4 seconds of stoppage or something like that. Always count 4 seconds before you move to somewhere. There's a marking. If somebody has an accident, there's a rule for what to do. There's a rule for every single thing. There's a rule for the markings of the road. You would actually... When I finished the questions, it was 100 questions. When I finished, I was like, okay. What I realized is these people are... They're basically saying, if you're coming to the road, if you're bringing your vehicle to the road, please care about the next person. And that's the underlying factor. caring about the next person and doing something that you may not necessarily benefit from today, but in the next decade, like people in the future that are coming will benefit from. I think a lot more people should be thinking this way. Like, we need to build a lot more people to, in maybe put this in the curriculum. Like, everything we're doing should be for the benefit of everybody, even if we're not going to reap the rewards personally. But everybody will. Thank you so much for that question.
You know, I'm actually jealous of China.
Oh,
They had TikTok. Now,
and there's also-
DeepSeek.
China is also that.
Where
oh
are
my
we?
God.
Where are we in the scheme of things when it comes to tech?
I think something I like, not necessarily like, something I admire is I was reading something about this company called Meituan in China, and they had a very weird beginning, but something that Chinese, yes, they censor. You cannot use like Facebook in China and all these apps. They have their own versions of all the popular apps. But the thing they're not afraid to do is to actually have the data. Again, it comes back. They have that data and they are able to harness it and they're able to use it. They have the population as well and they're able to use it that way and just like scale. Their numbers are insane. There's nothing compared to us or them. Like, it's just so insane. And they're able to use the data and they're able to leverage it and they're able to. I'm not necessarily praising, sometimes like I've had stories. I know a founder that went there and the story wasn't the same because of the way the internet works there, the way data works there and stuff. But I'm just seeing like these people are not afraid to try and try a lot and try a lot, also have a large number of people that are trying. And I think that that's something that we should definitely adopt. Like, if we can just bring people together and just let all of us, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to sound like a broken record. Let all of us like really, really, really commit to trying and not just doing it for selfish reasons.
Okay. So we're not anywhere in the scheme of things. That's what it means. But where do you think we can start from? You think investing in data collection will be the first step that Nigeria needs to take to, get to that level?
I genuinely think that if we have a lot more granular data about people. So we've had like BVN, NIN, and I mean you hear things like, oh, there's going to be another.
I heard that.
I don't know how true. I don't know how true that is. I hope they are not trying to do something again. But I had this unique opportunity of speaking or asking a question to the Minister of the Digital Economy, Mr. Bosun Tijani. And I just asked him about cybersecurity. But somebody else asked the question about data. And he mentioned something about how, he called it, I think what he called it was silos, multiple silos of data. So imagine companies that are capable of doing something or companies that are not even capable of doing something. But everybody has their data, but it's just not, there's no public system of everybody connecting to something. That's also something that might need to be built. A public system that everybody can contribute to. So like in the US, there's maybe like Social Security, for instance. Everybody has something that they can now use to they know what your finances are. You can get loans from that. And you can thrive as an economy. You can just get a loan, do something, and pay it back over a couple of months. You can get a credit card and actually be paying it off and grow as a person or as a business. There's loans for companies. You don't have to start from scratch. You can buy a business and make money from that business and pay off your loans. Like, they live in that place and they are able to grow their economy that way. There is a system for something like that to exist. And they've gathered that data and they know the people. Unfortunately, like, data can also be used for bad purposes too.
Course.
So it's a genuine concern that people should actually be worried about. Like, what are they going to use my data to do? And there's a genuine fear, like, a lot of people, you cannot just put your BVN in public.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot put your NIN just anywhere. There's a genuine fear. It's now left to maybe, I wouldn't necessarily say the government or whichever institution or whatever, to make that system very robust and very well done. But we genuinely need people to contribute and need people to do this in a bigger way that carries everybody along, every single person, and every new person that is coming, every new person that is being born, every new soul that is added to this economy. Like, if we can find a way to just know ourselves, honestly, that's a very good starting point, in my opinion. Because now we know these people in this region are not earning enough, or these people in this region are earning enough. How can we direct resources to these people? And I think when I spoke to the deputy governor of CBN, one thing he said about the INARA was, INARA would be this useful tool where, imagine if you create currency that can be used only for fertilizers. If you create billions of naira and share it to farmers, and they can only spend that money on fertilizers, don't you think people would be able to spend money on fertilizers? Because you can't embezzle that money, you can't exchange that money, or you have to spend it on fertilizers. Farmers will be able to get fertilizers, grow crops, sell, make money, and contribute to the system. I feel like, but the INARA was, does anybody use the INARA? That kind of thing. So, like, I feel like that's something that also happened. In a way, there's a lot, it's things that deeper. I might just be talking and just assuming. I would like to engage somebody from the government to actually have this conversation as well. So I would like to engage someone in government to have a conversation about this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not looking at it from the right place. Maybe I don't know the full context. But I genuinely think that if we have data and we have a bunch of people that are willing to grow this, grow ourselves, grow us as a country, and just like have the know who we are, I think that that's a very, very good starting point.
Well, like you said, you don't know if there is something deeper. A lot of people think that way too, because I can see how you're talking about it. You seem very passionate about it, and you are smart, right? There are a lot of people like that. Like, I've met some people in government from the media. Some of the things that some of them say, you'll be like, how is this person in this position? But there are some that I've spoken to, and they are actually very intelligent.
Yeah,
They know what to do, but somehow nothing is being done.
it's a very big question mark.
Honestly, so we have bright minds, we have people like you, we have, so what do we do? What's Do you have any plans, for example, because you're in the tech space? Like, if you contribute your own quota to the tech space, I contribute my own quota in the creative space, somebody else contribute their own quota in the financial space, things will get better. So do you have any plans on,
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, I'm working on something. I'm not allowed to talk about it, but I'm actually doing something regarding data, at least.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. That's nice to hear. You don't have to talk about it, but I'm glad that at least somebody is doing something, and maybe you could encourage people like you as well, like mine, so that
It's not cheap. I think I'm just trying my best to, like I said, I really, really believe in the future of the Nigerian creatives. And creative people in the space. And maybe, maybe we can be, so there's something to be said about executing on something and talking about something. We can talk about these things. But like I said, like, we need a bunch of people that are willing to do something without thinking of their own personal benefits alone. And I can't remember, I was reading something about, like, there's the US and Japan, how, the student loan thing worked. It's like placing a bet on a bunch of people and believing that these people will go and study and actually succeed. I think we've had a student loan program before, and I think we've had a program that people can go to school without paying immediately. At least when they graduate, they cannot pay it off. I don't know what happened to that. But what if we actually just place a bet on ourselves? Like, place a bet on education for Nigeria. Place a bet on good health for Nigeria. Let us actually bet on ourselves, because the stats are saying that Africa has the youngest population. Our population is so young, and we are so many. What if, and there's no other way to put it, but we are the future, literally.
Yeah.
How can we invest in us? Okay, the other thing I saw was children of, sadly, this region, when they are born, there's malnutrition. Malnutrition leads to slow formation of the brain. It doesn't grow well. It's not getting proper nutrients, and it's not like developing to the best way. And then you're not combining with lack of education. Do you see how, like, okay, there's now this issue, then there's now poverty, and it's like, where do we even like start
Yeah.
from? And then there's, we now grow up into a society, and there's just like all these other problems, but there's this other side that no, there's resources in this country. We are rich with resources, but we keep hearing these stories that money is missing or something is happening, or
Snake swallowed it.
so how are we like, what are we actually doing to ourselves? Like, do we care enough about ourselves, really? Like, if we think about it deeply, I think that's just something that we should check. Like, we need a bunch of people that care about other people other than themselves, and willing to commit to investing in all these places that are lacking. And I genuinely think that if we have those, it will take us at least 20 to 40 years, but we'll just be starting. If we
Yeah.
start today,
Yeah.
and we will just be getting to the beginning in 40 years, sadly, but we'll make headway. I think so.
Thank you very much, Fisayo.
Thank you.
Any other question? Sorry, any other question? We're good? So my last question. Why are you wearing YouTube logo? Is it because of the revenue?
So this was from the trip, the US trip.
Okay.
So like I said, the first time I went there was the US government that invited me. And all of a sudden, YouTube is like, oh, we want you to stay in the US for a little bit longer.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and we want you to meet the vice president of technology at Google. This person reports directly to the CEO of Google, and I'm supposed to meet with him. And everybody was shocked. They were like, wait, you get to meet him? And I'm like, who is this person? And I went to check his profile. I'm like, Oxford. Wow. That's like a PhD in AI and robotics. Okay. And I was like, I started preparing the questions, and I'm like, this is a lot. But I met him, and it was like fun. Anyway, I got the pin from that event, and I'm like wearing it to just like remember. I have this song that I was listening to, and that moment is still in my head. So I'm just like keeping it with me. So that's why it's just it's just right
Why
there.
do you think they're always calling you though?
I don't know. I honestly, I think maybe I don't know. I don't know, honestly. I think maybe it's just the.
I think they see what you don't see, and then they see the brilliance. They feel like you would understand what they are going to talk about, and maybe that's why.
Because he actually even commented on my LinkedIn post.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it was like, this was a very good conversation. And I was like, thank you so much. Yeah.
I just remember the music space, right?
Yeah.
It's, the music industry way back, there was no platform for artists to sell their music. Alaba was killing them, and then came Spotify, it's almost like they came to rescue that industry, at the time. But why, even now, we still don't have those type of platform. I mean, is that not a space for tech solution, as Africans? Because what I figure out is that, once this platform you put your stuff there, they control the markets, in general, so is that not a space for tech?
Are you saying like Africans don't have a platform like that? Like owned by Africans?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that not a space for tech? Because at the end of the day, they control that market. I believe that they control the music industry right now.
So yes, I think you're absolutely right. So Spotify is from, I think it's from Sweden
Mm-hmm.
or so. Like it's yeah, Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
from,
saw the movie.
yeah. And then Apple Music was from like Beats by Dre
Mm.
to into Apple Beats Music when they bought Beats. They had iTunes.
Yeah.
Then they became like streaming. Then there's like SoundCloud, and then there's the other ones, sure. But if you think about it deeply, first of all, do we have light? Do we have constant electricity to keep a server running that would let this thing actually stay online? It's not no shade or something. They are servers actually. They are okay. Let me not say it that way, but like this is a space that is very very capital intensive, and then there's the structure of like the record labels, revenue splits, royalties, licensing, all of those things that fortunately, unfortunately, like the US market has colonized, has like taken over that space. They have actually like invested a lot of money, tens of billions, into this space. So in a way, they kind of already have, again, they have the data, they have the leverage, and they have all those things. So they are able to, people would aspire to join American or foreign record labels to get access to publicity and stuff. But we have indigenous people that are trying. And I know that there's like some companies, so I think Boomplay is, it comes with every Transsion device, and Transsion is Techno, Infinix, ITEL, and the rest of them. Um, I don't know. I think that's like Chinese or
I
something.
think, yeah, that's from
So,
China.
but they mainly sell for this market. They are focused on this market. They sell more here. So stuff like that, I think that's not so bad. There are other platforms. I don't know where Deezer is from, and I think there's another one I can't remember right now. But there are two of them that are like a little bit more prominent. So, in a way, there's so much infrastructure costs that is just, it would be too difficult to set up something like that unless you're willing to invest in it. But then again, if you're investing in something, you need to prove that you'll be able to return that money. Are people willing to spend such amounts of money? I think if you look at the movie industry, for instance, Netflix is investing. There was the report that they're investing almost like 70% of their Africa stuff in South Africa. That's because there's a lot more spending power there. They are willing to subscribe more there. It's not the same as Nigeria. We're not willing to subscribe more. So in a way, it still boils down to the fact that 200 million people in this country, or 230 something, I think, almost half of that is poor. So are you really doing stuff for that market? And then the rest of them, like if you check the earnings, it's not so. So it still boils down to a lot of the fundamental issues. People may not necessarily want to invest so much in this market, but it's not to say that people shouldn't invest at all. There is a market here. There's a reason why like music thrives here, creativity thrives, really really thrives here. So one of the things I'm doing, I'm actually trying to invest in this space. Like I just really want to invest in. I am investing heavily in this space, and I want to do something data related to creative people, and hopefully like it works out and people benefit from it. Like I think that's the goal. Like if I may not necessarily make anything, but like if people are empowered, I'm going to 100%. I'll count it as a success. Even if I. But yeah, like I feel like we need a lot more people to understand this space, get the data, and see which, because I'm saying data and I'm saying data like the truth is if you actually understand something and you know all the holes, you will know what to plug. You will know where to like this is the issue. And there's no other way than data, like getting data and understanding deeply what the thing is or what the issue is. Like that's the only way. So I think people should invest more in that, and we will see stuff like that spring up more and more. But there's a lot going on in creativity, and I think more of more platforms will emerge for this space.
Okay, thank you very much. It's been a very inspiring session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming, Fisayo.
Thank you for having me.
Yay.
I did not drink my tea.
Why?
I'll drink
Please
my
drink your tea. Thank you so much for coming,
Thank you.
and we hope to see you again pretty soon
Thank you.
to discuss more. Maybe by then you would have started your projects. That would be cool. Okay, so thank you so much, Fisayo, for coming.
Thank you for
We
having me.
actually had an amazing time. I didn't know it was even going to be this deep. Yes. So I hope you guys have learned a lot from this episode. If you have any questions, as usual, put them in the comments, and I'm sure we can get Fisayo to answer them for us.
I'll be in the comment section.
Yes, he will be in the comment section. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming, Fisayo. We hope
Thank
to see
you.
you more. We hope to see more of you, and hopefully, when your project is ready to go live, the one you refuse to talk about, you can come back here again, and then we can discuss it. And thank you for being an inspiration to a lot of young people in Nigeria and all over the world. And thank you for representing us well. We're proud of you, and we'll keep rooting for you, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So thank you. All right, guys, we've come to the end of today's episode. Make sure you watch, make sure you like, make sure you share. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. So until next time, bye.